2024-86, introduction to 2024 budget to be read by title only. Make a motion to approve 2024-86.
Second,
Mrs. DeNoble?
nothing has changed since our last meeting, so therefore my vote doesn't change it either. So it is a no.
Mr. Gubatese?
Well, that's true. Nothing has changed since the last meeting, but except for one thing, and I want to mention that to the public tonight. The last meeting that we held, I explained to the public again how the mayor simply presents his budget for introduction at every council meeting. He's now done this for 4 consecutive months. He does this each time without allowing the council access to our department heads or to the CFO. I explained to the public that the mayor has a team that responds, and I'll put quotation marks around the word responds to our budget questions, but doesn't answer quotation marks our questions. Tonight, I want people to know that I formally reported the borough's budget impasse to the New Jersey State Department of Community Affairs, the DCA, and to the New Jersey State Office of the Comptroller. I did so in a 5-page letter to these agencies last Friday, and I copied Mayor Fox and my council colleagues. In my letter, I described many of the same concerns that I share twice a month with you, our public. I highlighted the last 2 years of financial mismanagement that has led to a $1.6 million drain on our surplus. I shared examples of the borough's financial ineptitude that were highlighted in our recent 2022 audit. I communicated that our 2022 annual financial statement misrepresented our cash on hand as of 12/31/22. We, the borough, identified to the DCA that we had cash on hand of $7.2 million. The audit, delivered a number of months later, confirmed that the cash on hand was actually $4 million. We confirmed to the DCA 7.2 million when we in fact had 4 million. You know, that's not a rounding error. How could our 2023 finance department provide such grossly inaccurate reporting to the state DCA? And finally, I shared concerns that our finance department recently raised related to our 2023 financial records. With all of this clear evidence of financial mismanagement, how can this council not ask questions about the accuracy and appropriateness of the current budget? I closed my letter to these state agencies by asking, can any, and I capitalize the word any, can any agency or authority within the state of New Jersey please encourage Mayor Larry Fox to honor his commitment, to honor his fiduciary responsibility to our citizens? That was my question. And I say to all of you, figuratively and literally, this whole situation does not add up. And I vote no.
Ms. Mahoney?
If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. You have various bills to pay and certain variable expenditures like gifts, dining out, groceries, and even gas for your car. You need to put a budget together every year. Wouldn't the first place you start be to find out how much you spent the previous year? Simply put, your appropriations for the year for which you are trying to budget would be based on your expenditures for the previous year. That would be your starting point from where your adjustments would be made. It wouldn't matter how much you appropriated for the year before. It would only matter how much you had actually spent the year before. Last week, I explained how the 3 funds that comprise our budget did not sum to the 2024 admin recommended budget of $16,055,417,000. I'm going to not use cents because it just gets too complicated. Yesterday, late afternoon, this council was given a new budget. And The three numbers for the current beach and sewer funds all changed. Yet they don't add up to the $16,055,417 recommended budget for 2024. The number was $100,000 closer, but it was still off by $100,000. According to our finance team, in 2022, our expenditures were $14,714,603. Our 2022 audit shows that our actual audited expenditures were $16,166,260. That's a $1.5 million difference. $1.5 million. There are huge discrepancies with what our admin systems reports we spent and what we actually did spend. To create our 2024 budget, we are not using actual 2023 expenditures. We are using what we appropriated for 2023. $15,804,183, which is less than what we spent in 2022. We still do not have the detail behind the numbers for 2024. What we received are explanations why it's not important that the numbers we have don't add up. We still don't have any revenue numbers for any year. In any balanced budget, expected revenues should equal expected expenditures. We are on our third set of revised budget numbers, none of which include concerns from this council, e.g. the cost of the DPW, I shouldn't say DPW, the DPW dispatcher's clerical contract, the loss of 2 DPW workers, and the impact that that might have on services going forward. We still have no access or communication with the CFO that we hired. And it's becoming increasingly evident that our system, Edmunds, that feeds our expenditures, appropriations, and revenues is broken. We've depleted our surplus over the past 2 years, and it's in the offing this year to deplete it further by $600,000 to pay regularly occurring costs associated with running the borough. Mayor Fox has stated that he is confident in the state form document and that it is a validated worksheet received from the state. The form itself may be a validated worksheet. However, I cannot speak to the numbers within that document. Any form is only as good as the numbers inputted. Mayor Fox has referenced to summaries in this form, and this council has repeatedly asked for detail underlying those numbers. We have not received those, or the numbers we have received do not match those summaries, as indicated by my example during the meeting on July 10th, 2024. Additionally, after claiming his confidence in the document, most of the numbers changed yesterday. I will not vote on this budget. My answer is no.
Mr. Weber?
A couple of years ago, we changed the auditor, unfortunately, that we had. And one of the reasons that was given that the old auditor at the time was not good is that, I'm not saying this is true, but there was a claim that they put out a public document and the numbers didn't add up. Based on what my colleagues are saying here, there's a lot of numbers that don't add up. But unfortunately, there's nobody to change, so I will just simply vote no.
Mayor Fox?
Yes. Okay.